Queens, I have a question for you. Do you consider yourself to be a high valued woman? No, really, I just want you to think about that. So, recently in the news, there's been a lot of things going on with just relationships falling apart. And I think that we as women need to value ourselves more. Because if we value ourselves, then people that are out there, men, whomever, they won't be able to treat us just any kind of way. So, these are 10 questions that I have for you today. 10 things to say to a man to set boundaries and make it clear that you are a high valued woman. Would you agree that with me with that? Because I know you may be saying, well, who are you? Well, my name is Nubia and I've been married for 39 years to the same man and we have four beautiful children. And you have to set some boundaries. And so this is what I want to talk to you today. So stay with me all the way to the end and I'll give you 10 points that I think would help you if you're single or if you're already in a relationship. So number one is to make sure that they know that you're not available at the last minute and to let them know to please plan ahead. That shows that you are definitely not one, you don't want to be called upon at the last minute. Number two, so making sure that you say to a person, to the man, a person, or even your husband, I'm not comfortable with that and I don't need to justify myself. I think there are way too many women that are out there, and just because they want to have a man, they are settling for just about anything. You have to make sure that you have your boundaries set in place. Number three, make sure that you don't shrink yourself to become more digestible for anyone. That goes for women too, because sometimes we get in the room and we know that we have our own boundaries, that we have a certain way of how we carry ourselves. And because we want to be more palatable to other people, we may just shrink ourselves. So that's one thing that we need to stop doing. And number four, you have to say, I won't entertain inconsistent energy. I deserve better. You do deserve better. And make sure that you put that out there and you stick to your guns. Number five, queens, please, please, by all means, choose peace over chaos every single time. No matter what the situation is, like I told my children, I have three daughters and a son, and I tell them, choose peace over chaos every single time. Peace by any means and all means necessary. So, number six, no response is my response. So, when you're hearing silence, that's intentional. And hopefully, the men will get the picture because there are too many women that are out here that are putting up with way, way too much. So, have these rules and stick to them. There's a specific incidents that I'm thinking about right now, but I don't want to put names or whatever people out there because it's happening actually to a lot of women, not just this one woman that I'm thinking in particular. And you have to let them know that these are my standards, these are my guides, and I'm not going to budge. Number seven, I'm not I'm not chasing closure. I'm creating my own peace. Again, I love that scripture. And the scripture says, peace which surpasses all understanding comes from the Bible verse, Philippians 4:7. So by all means, guard your peace. And number eight, I'm not afraid to disappoint others to stay true to myself. And then there were some other definitions that I brought up. I looked up. It says, you are completely enough just as you are. Your values does not depend on what you do, what you own, or how busy you stay. You possess inherent worth simply because you are alive and you're present in this world. So no proof is needed. Flaws do not define you, and rest is productive. Taking a break or slowing down does not make you less important. I remember as I started to have children, and I would get tired, and I was living at that time in Virginia, and I was so afraid that somebody would call me while I was taking a nap because my children were little at that time. My husband and I were married 8 years before we had the first one. So I was in my 30s or so. Yeah, I was in my 30s by the time I had, yeah. And so just rest. That's all that I'm trying to say. Rest, protect yourself, protect your peace, and don't worry about what other people are thinking about. Speak gently, talk to yourself the way that you would talk to a good friend. And it says, let go. Release the pressure to be perfect in every single thing that you do. Number 9, I'm not emotionally available for unavailable men, right? How many times do you know, or how many women do you know, that they'll call and they'll text and they'll call and they'll text? Just, put the text out there once. If they don't bite, if they don't respond, just value yourself enough to not keep calling, especially if they're already showing you that they're not available, right? They say that if a person shows you who they are, you need to believe them. Number 10, if it costs me my joy or dignity, it's way too expensive. I Googled the word joy, and the word joy comes up in the Bible at least 150 to 200 something times. So then there's a scripture that says, weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. It's not over till it's over. And make sure that you hang on to your joy. So, to all the women that are out there, this is your reminder. Just make sure that you're not settling for the bare minimum. Don't apologize. And because the way you honor yourself sets the tone with him and everyone else around you, choose your peace, know your worth, and love yourself by all means. So, this has been my bit for today. Again, I'm Nubia of NubianQueen Nation. This is my first time doing this kind of content. I think I'm more of a talking head type person, but I did want to make sure that I, shared this information with you, because I think there's been more than one woman that I've seen in the news lately where they went through something very, very, very bad situations with men that they had in their lives. So we have to remember to make good choices. Be patient. I think I heard another person said that if you move too quickly and a person pressures you to do things that you don't want to do, then it's probably just a person who's ill-tempered or has some malice, and they don't mean you good, right? Because if a person really wants to be a part of your life, then they're patient. They're not going to rush you, and they'll take their time and they'll wait, right? Because you're worth it. You are a high valued woman, and just remember that. So that's all that I have for you today. I just want to make sure that come back and visit me. I'm going to be doing more things like this. I My husband and I we're in our 60s, and we've been married for 39 years. And I come across a lot of really good content. And when I listen to some of the young people that are talking, they may be, married 17 years, and they're giving good advice. But sometimes I'm like, I don't know. So I decided to just, every once in a while I'll search around, and I'm praying about what it is that the Lord would have me to do. But I want us to all remember to pour back into ourselves, right? Give ourselves the love that we deserve, right? If we show up a certain kind of way, then people are going to have to respect us in that kind of way, right? So, especially with me raising 3 girls and a son, I want to make sure that they love themselves. If they love themselves, they're going to respect the people that are around them. All right. So, again, I've been married for 39 years, and, there's no perfect anything that's out there. We have to work on ourselves as individuals. My husband works on himself. I work on myself. And then we come together and we work as a couple, right? And so the other thing that I do in the morning is I do show up on TikTok, and I am praying for our husbands, our spouses in the morning, live every morning at 7 a.m. on TikTok. Sometimes I'm in there, and it doesn't have to be a huge crowd, but I do have people that'll pop in and they'll say, "Well, can you pray for my situation or my relationship?" And it's not a one-time deal. You have to make sure that you're showing up on a daily basis. Wake up in the morning and pray. I did see something very important the other day, and it was saying how the most important time to pray in the morning, which most of us are sound asleep, is between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you just happen to roll over and for some reason you can't sleep, then maybe just, say a silent prayer for your family, for your future spouse, for your children. And even if you're, of my age and you might have some grandchildren, just make sure that you're, continuously praying. And if you're not like a 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning person, then make sure that you are, when you pray in the morning, like I said, I pray at 7 o'clock in the morning, and throughout the day, just make sure that you keep your family up in prayer. All right. So that's pretty much all that I have for you today. Thank you for joining me here. Please come on back. I am also, I've been reading a lot about something called the Esther year. I love the book of Esther. I just finished reading that in one series that I'm reading, going through the whole book of the Bible in 1 year. And so, yeah, if you're available to join me at 7 o'clock in the morning, I actually go live on YouTube and on TikTok at the same time, simultaneously, 7 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm working on my Esther year, right? So if you could leave a comment down below, and if you have any questions, you can leave them before me. And yeah, peace and blessings to you, and come back and check me out and see me in the next video. All right, that's all that I have for you now. Peace and blessings for now. Ciao.